Hey guys, welcome to this Musky segment. Today it's all about how to keep a big fish hooked at the side of the boat when they hit in the figure eight. So there's a couple things that I do that you're going to see here when I catch this muskie that more often than not help me keep a fish hooked and get them in the net on a short line. First thing is the hook set. It doesn't matter if the muskie's following from a distance or if it comes out from below the boat like this one just did. The hook set is very important, and what I do is pound the rod forward in just a real powerful jerking motion, and I don't do anything fancy. Some folks have asked me, which direction do you set the hook? Well, my direction is usually forward, and my thought process behind that is when a lure is coming in toward the boat, we're usually pulling back and pulling the lure toward the boat. I don't change anything when it comes to the hook set in the figure eight. Second thing is, once you've hooked the fish, keep the rod buried. You don't want to bring the rod tip up a whole lot during the figure eight battle. If you pull up, the fish is going to come up with you, and that can oftentimes give the muskie a chance to, shake its head and roll, and more often than not, that can cost you a lost fish. So I like to keep the rod down and buried, and I try to be in control as much as possible during the fight. A long rod, I'm going to talk to you about the equipment here. A long rod is just so important when it comes to keeping big fish hooked at the side of the boat. And lastly, when you're fighting these fish at boatside, you're going to see me on this big muskie engage free spool, or another word for that is just hitting the spool here, the button with my thumb, and going into what I call a manual drag system. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, I've got some give in my drag normally here. If I hook a big fish within fairly close range to the boat, I do have a little bit of give. But a lot of times when you're really close and you're fighting a fish, it takes a little more finesse than that. So I, a lot of times, push the button and use my thumb as the drag system. And that allows me a little bit of time to get the net, or to, on this big fish that I just caught here, you're going to see I didn't think it was hooked really well. So I didn't want to actually pull too hard on the fish. So I engaged free spool, and it helped me fight that muskie a little better. And especially when you're netting the fish by yourself, if you've got free spool engaged and they take a big run right as you're going to net them, you can let the fish run and not, get the rod pulled out of your hand, or the lure gets ripped out of its mouth. So those are three of my critical figure eight techniques that I usually use when I'm fighting a muskie. Check this out. It doesn't get much better than this. I mean, we got a rainstorm here, southeast wind, upsized to the double-8 Buchertail Tinsel to trigger an aggressive strike, and it did. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you, 9-foot Legend Elite St. Croix. This is their medium heavy power. It's an awesome rod for bucktail fishing. 80-pound test, Joe Bucher Outdoors, Beast Braid, Dial Alexa 400H. It's just an awesome combo for bucktail fishing. You're going to see these muskies slam this double-8 Buchertail Tinsel, and it was on. right, we got her, baby. We got her. Oh yeah. Oh, was that awesome. Big blades and a big fish. Got the job done. Oh my gosh, was that awesome. Wow. All right. Oh man, that is a gorgeous muskie. Guys, when you get a big fish at boatside, don't forget to put the power into that hook set. Keep the rod down so you can keep these fish hooked. This muskie was barely hooked, but because of the long rod, I was able to get the job done. Thanks for watching. All right, back in with you. Oh, wow. Goes off like another day.